been super lucky on this trip. I love the double dip at Castaway Cay. Today we're going to spend more time on the island. Roba's going to walk the 5K with me. She's going to go get coffee. And we're going to enjoy the beach, and this time I think the family beach, where we can snorkel. There's also a play area that I really want to hit that has a slide and a jump off spot and all of that stuff. So we're kind of spending money on this cruise simply because we don't normally. It's nice. The pools are very nice upstairs in the cove. I didn't realize that they were so warm. And yeah, we're really enjoying this, so it was a much needed break. If you look, the seas are very calm today. Very calm and quiet. We have one more day. After today, we have Nassau. And that's kind of cool. Let's see if I can stand it. Because we are also doing a private island beach day in Nassau. So, we're going to the Blue Lagoon. We don't normally do an excursion on DCL. We don't need to. But we're both curious about the Blue Lagoon. So, we've seen that it's a pretty cool spot. We're seeing what's going on. There was a little bit of a maintenance issue yesterday. That caused the delay for us leaving Castaway Cay. We don't know what happened. We just know that the promenade deck was closed most of the day, which is kind of scary because the promenade deck is where all the lifeboats are, and it's also where all of our assembly stations are. So, and if you look up, you'll see the clouds are a little bit rainy and a little bit puffy, which means the humidity is a little bit higher than what it would normally be on a cloudless day, and I can see some rain off in the distance over here. So we might get a little rain today, unless these guys rain themselves out. I noticed these building yesterday, so we'll see. But anyways, Castaway Cay, here we come. And I'll let you see how he pulls in. There is all kinds of stuff to do here. And when the ship is at less than half capacity, I think the ship can hold about 3,000 people, and we're at 1,040 passengers and then 1,012 crew. So it's one crew member for each person. And I will tell you that the crew on this ship are outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. We love our server. We love our second server and the trainee that we have, Eddie from Mexico. He's awesome. Susanna's from Portugal, and Laura is from Spain. And then our stateroom host is G'day, and he's so nice. It's just everybody says hello, and they sound like they're in a good mood, and it's very different from our princess ship. The princess ship, we saw our stateroom host all the time, and she was always toiled. Every time we see our stateroom host, which is rare, he is not. He is happy to see us. He has questions. He wants to talk to us. He's excited. So, it's a little bit of a different thing. There's so many more activities to do here. On a Disney Cruise Line ship, it is not quite as stuffy as a Princess. Princess is kind of stuffy, unfortunately, because it caters to folks who are about 10 or 12 years our senior, and we're not there yet. My wife is certainly not there yet. She's a Sagittarian. She will never be that old. That's not her thing. So, you know, DCL it is. We also want to try Royal and Norwegian. You've probably heard me say that a lot. I certainly do, because I want to be on a fun ship. I also am trained in Royal and Norwegian, so I should be able to book us a cruise and not be an issue. But we're going to continue with DCL as well. We're going to try to get on the next couple of years the Fantasy, which we have not been on, the Wonder, which is on our side of the world, and then once the newness wears off the Wish, we'll try for the Wish. But it's just, when I was on the Princess Cruise Line, I wished I was on the Disney Cruise Line. And we spent most of our time in our stateroom. And on this cruise, we're not doing that. I think a lot of it had to do with temperature, but the other part is that there just wasn't anything offered that appealed to our age. I did the Disney trivia yesterday, the Tunes trivia. I did pretty good. I got 26 out of 30. But I had a group of folks behind. It was packed in Fathoms. I had a group of folks behind us. You could tell they were drama kids, and they got every single one. Collectively, it was me playing against 4 very well-schooled Disney kids. So, congratulations to them. They got their ears. And I hope to play again. I hope to play some sort of trivia today. We've decided that O'Gill's is our favorite place to be. O'Gill's is Irish pub, and you've probably seen some photos from day one. They are themed after Darby O'Gill and the Little People. If you are too young to know what that movie is, you need to look that up in the vault and see if you can watch it on Disney Plus, because it was one of the cutest movies I have ever seen. And if you are older and have not seen that, if you know who Sean Connery is, he is very young in that film, and it'll make you fall in love with Irish people all over again. Very good story. Here we go. We're coming into Castaway Cay. So it has a protective arm, right? As we're coming this way, so you see this. There's a island right here. There's our buoys. The captain, the ship has sailed beautifully this whole time. It hasn't been super rocky. A lot of our cruises, we cruise in off season, so the ocean is mad, and it has not been mad at all this cruise. So there's our protected arm. And we dock. We don't tender to the port. This is actually I know they had to dig out so cruise ships can fit into this port. You're hearing me start to get a little nasally. I'm allergic to everything. I'm allergic to the planet at this point. So, not food, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but trees and pollens and stuff like that. So, I'll have to use some nasal spray, because we've got a 5K to do today. Wife's never done a 5K with me. And, I'm excited. We're going to do it in the morning because it's bound to get a lot hotter and a lot rainier. So, do that and a little bit of snorkeling. It's supposed to be a race, but there's no minimum time, and there's no, they're not going to pick you up. You're not going to get swept. Oh, look how neat. He's going in aft, so he's literally reversing into the spot like you would park your car if you were parking in the driveway, head out. That's what he's doing with his giant ship. And I don't know that there's any pilots on board. I don't think there is. So pilots are the folks who stand, if you ever look at the bow of a cruise ship, I think also in the aft as well, there are 2 doors, 1 door on each side, and there's a little bridge. And there's people that stand out there, and they talk in a radio to the navigator on the ship and the captain. And that's how they're the captain's rear view mirrors, is basically what they are, rear view and side view mirrors. And so when you pull out of a port, you'll see there's lots of these little tugs that come alongside. Cruise ships are gigantic. Even this one, even though it's a smaller one, they'll actually board the ship from the outside of the ship, get up on that little bridge, and they will navigate they'll help the captain navigate the ship in. So we didn't realize that was something that actually happened, but we've seen it. So we know now how that works, and I think that's pretty cool. And I don't think the Castaway Cay has any pilots. So I think that, because there is no tugs along the side of this ship, this is the captain doing it himself. So, well, with his crew, of course, on the bridge. So this is a pretty cool trick. And this is one of the reasons why sometimes you can't dock at Castaway Cay. And I have not had that happen to me, luckily. But I have seen professional vloggers who have that happen, and it's heartbreaking. But I also do know that when that happens, most of the bars go at 50% off happy hour, and they stay that way. Because people get really upset when they can't do Castaway Cay. It's what they look forward to. I mean, a lot of folks, these are, once in a lifetime cruises. They don't get to do this again. There's a lot of repeaters as well. There's a lot of folks who can, like us, but we've raised our kids, so they're out of the house, and one of ours lives in Arizona, for God's sake. So, with a great gal, and I'm very happy for him because he seems to be very happy himself. I would love to take him on one of these, and her. I think they'd enjoy this. So, yeah, not being able to hit a port, not necessarily a port that you're crazy about, but something like Castaway Cay, which is, a huge selling point in the itinerary. It can really break a heart or two. Parents are looking for the quiet beach, and kids are looking forward to playing in the ocean, and this is all protected water. I mean, as you can see, that's all protected water. They built this bar right here. That bar. Where's my finner? There's finner. I can't see anything. They built that bar right there, and that bar right there extends all the way out to there. And there, on the other side of the island, is Serenity Bay. There's a big old water tower and everything over there. And this Serenity Bay is adults only, and then this section right here, right around the cape here, this is kids and families. And there's barbecue spots on land, and they do steaks and ribs and chicken and chicken patties, and oh, it's nice. It's just very nice. Eat outdoors, and there's hardly any bugs. Yesterday there was little tiny bugs, but there wasn't any like meat bees, which was nice. I don't like meat bees. So anyways, it's Castaway Cay. I'm gonna go have coffee now.
Breakfast. Our server, we see everywhere, and she's very awesome to us. So we're very grateful for Susanna from Portugal. She served us today at Cabanas, which is odd to see a main dining room server, but from what I understand, because they're not at full crew, they switch around so they can take breaks. So yeah, so that's awesome.
All right, so we did our 5K. Apparently Weezy is not used to that kind of walk. It was simply a walk, and we did it in an hour and 4. But it seemed a lot for her. The clouds are rolling in. We do plan on going back ashore. I've already put us in virtual queue to do that. We grabbed a vitamin water, by the way. Disney Cruise Lines offer Coke products, and they are included in the price of your cruise. So one of the better options is the vitamin water. We also have water in the refrigerator. There's not a very happy baby on board the ship right now. And it's probably nap time, and that's probably why. We'll have lunch over on shore on the island. I want to check out Pelican Plunge. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about Serenity Bay and the family beaches on Castaway Cay. So Serenity Bay is basically adults only, and it's older folks. They're very nice. Just about everybody we've met on board is incredibly nice folks. They're not stuffy or by any means. There's a few that are a little entitled and kind of clueless, but as you will always have that. But there are some that are very engaging, and there is a social aspect to cruising that a lot of folks don't know. It's a nice combination of solo or time with family and also social. There's not a lot of drunken louds on board this ship. That's one of the reasons why I like Disney so much. If you are one of those folks that like to drink and party and woot and hoot and holler, then Disney Cruise Line is not your cruise line. Your cruise line is Carnival. It's cheaper. You can do it. The beverage package is less expensive. They are out of every local port you could possibly go out of Disney. You have to travel to. And if you're drunk and loud the whole time, Disney it's a family cruise line. They have rules. And you can't be drunk and loud at 10 o'clock at night, walking down the hallway hooting and hollering. So just so you know, that's a thing. The Serenity Bay is really for adults. There are no kids on that, but I still consider a kid, 18 to 26. that's technically a kid to me still. So, but it's 18 or older over at Serenity. They have their own barbecue. They just don't have anything really fun. They don't have any snorkeling. They don't have a water slide. They don't have any of that stuff reserved for adults, and primarily because they don't need to. Luckily, this is a 2-day dip. So yesterday we spent time over at Serenity Bay, and it was nice to wade out in the water. There's no real swimming or anything because it's just it's up to your hips basically. Today we're gonna head onto the family beaches. We'll probably be over by the Pelican Plunge, so over by Pelican Bay, which is further out. So let's see, right over there is Pelican Beach, and then I can't see my screen, you guys. And then right along here is the family beach, and there's snorkeling just as you come in. I don't know that we're going to bring our snorkels, but I don't know that we're going to snorkel because I don't know if Wheezy's going to feel like snorkeling. But I want my fins if I play in the water, because fins are good swimming. So they help propel you. So we'll bring those down. And I don't know how long we're going to stay out on the island. It's a little rainy outside. It was nice and sprinkly, but it is threatening rain. And those are rain clouds. Those are nice and heavy rain clouds too. We're out in the ocean, so they're going to continue to build and spin, and because they're sucking up water. So yeah, we're going to enjoy the family side of the beach, and you know, a nice mix of both. If you're a couple traveling together, you know, where you're still young at heart, your bones say no, but your spirit says, yeah, go do it. Enjoy both sides of the island. You don't have to only be over in Serenity Bay. You can go play on the water slides too. You can rent bicycles and ride around. You can do the 5K on your own. There's all kinds of things. We did get our medals. They are inside, and I bought a couple of shirts too. I bought my finisher shirt and then a Castaway Cay SPF Spirit jersey. Little spendy, about $100 for both. But SPF shirts are expensive, so it's not like they're going to go on sale. And these are exclusive to Castaway Cay, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, so just chilling. I do like having a balcony. For me, it is not a requirement, but I do like it. It's nice to have my own little space. The thing is that it's not quiet. As you can hear the baby screaming in the background. She's tired. That kid is tired. So there you go. So we just came back from dinner. We had Rapunzel's. No, I didn't hardly record anything. Sorry about that. Simply because I wanted to experience Rapunzel's. I know it's really fun. I didn't really want to say this, but we are actually docked in Nassau. Captain was booking it because we had an injured person on board the vessel. I don't think we're at a normal dock, a normal cruise ship dock. I think we're at a cargo dock. So if you've never seen Nassau at night, it's beautiful, but I'm going to keep that to myself. You want to see Nassau at night, fly into Nassau and spend the night in Nassau, and take a cruise ship out of Nassau and cruise around it. It's one of those things that, you know, it's rare. Our service staff, I know we've been saying this repeatedly over and over again, they're flippin' amazing. They really, really are. They're amazing staff. They know what they're doing. We missed Eddie from Mexico tonight, so Eddie, if you're watching this, I don't know if you will be. We missed you tonight. I hope you had a good night off. I hope it's not you that was injured, because he's an awful nice guy. He was also on the fantasy as well, but we haven't been on the fantasy yet. So we have an early morning tomorrow. I have room service coming for coffee. We're not going to run downstairs and get it. We'll be in the Bahamas. We'll be in Nassau on the Blue Lagoon Island for probably about 5 hours is the whole thing. And then we'll be heading back on the ferry and back on the ship, hopefully by 2:15. so we can do laundry and pack and get ready to leave. So as a travel consultant, I do not advise any of my people to actually fly back the same day that you are disembarking from your trip. I always recommend that you stay the night, because a lot of the times the flights leave early in the morning, especially if you're like us and you fly across the country. But we have a red eye, so our flight doesn't leave until 6. So we get to hang out at the airport from debarkation to flight. So that's what we're going to do. We fly out of Fort Lauderdale. So we're just going to chill. Anyways, good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Nikki, your host and advisor, and I'll see you real soon.